Good evening, everyone. I'm gonna do a video that I've been thinking about, and I think her channel is Survival Lily is the one I was watching, and she was making a spear. She actually had quite a nice steel head for her spear. Now where I live here, a spear isn't really much of a valid survival tool for self-defense, except against other humans. And what I'm going to do is go out in the woods and create a situation. And the only thing I have with me is my buck knife. It's sharp. And I'm going to make a spear with just my buck knife. I'm going to select a tree and we're going to make a spear for self-defense. You know, if you live in a country where you have large bears, cats, we have bobcats here. Unless they're sick, they don't go near people. I can count all the black bears I've seen on one hand. They're not that people friendly either. They don't come around people. They really don't like us. We smell bad or something. They're not a real problem. But part of what is crucial in making this spear out of wood is selecting the right tree. You don't want to select a basswood. That's what this is. It'd be very nice to work with. It's a real soft wood, and it cuts real easy, but it would just break. To thrust through a tough-skinned animal, it wouldn't work. So we're going to search around and we're going to find the right hardwood tree that would work. Okay, when I get there, we'll turn this back on. Okay, I found the tree. It's what we call a hardack tree. It's about the size I want. And we're going to whack it down with the buck knife. I hope this is recording. So I'm going to get started. First thing I'm going to do is get it off the stump. I don't have a tripod with me, and we may refilm this part. But we have the buck knife, and we're going to start to cut this tree. Now, as I do it, I'm also going to work on my point. I have to remember to look down, so this is a learning experience for me too. I have never done this before. And you can see why you want a pretty darn good knife to do this with. I want you to take notice of this bark right there, because I have that in the plan too. These hardack trees are called here in the Northeast. Another name is ironwood. I'm not sure what their range is, but they grow here in Vermont, Maine, New Hampshire, I imagine New York State. Now, let's work on this side a little bit. I hope I'm getting some of this on film and it's not too shaky. Oh yeah, we're gaining. Let me come around this side. Timber. Okay. I started my spear point as I cut the tree. I probably should have been a lot fussier. Take a little bit of this bark off here so you can kind of see it. Then we're going to work on that some more. Now let's select the length. It's a very, very hard wood. These are. See that right there for a length? That looks good right there. I think I'm going to cut it off right here. Let's get this up against another tree here and see if we can give that a couple whacks. There we have our spear shaft that may save our life. Okay, you're wondering why it's so long. Well, we'll get to that. I need another piece. And this one could work, and it will work for today. Get those two branches off, and I'm going to get this against a tree to do this part. Turn it over. Bend her down, snap her off. Maybe that should have been bigger, but I think it'll work. Alright, we have what we need. Let's go back out where we can find a comfortable place to sit down and make a spear. Okay, we'll work on the point of this thing first. Remove the bark. You can see this is very, very hard wood to work with. They are called ironwood. And you see, you just aren't going to mount to anything shaven like that. So I'm going to get it down on another stick of wood. And I'm going to sit on it to start with and start working it down like this. And back here. Okay, I'm going to shut you guys off for a while because this would be a very long video if you watched me work this down all the way. Okay, update. I'm getting the tip worked down, as you can see. That can be done back at my campsite, sitting around my fire. We don't have to do that all right now, because it'll work at this point. Now I'm going to shave the bark off. That to about here. I want about 2.5 feet. A very smooth, large caliber shaft. Now all these, where the branches were, we're going to chop those off, smooth that up, and cut 2 of them. We'll take out. There's one there and there's one up further. So, just a quick update. We'll go back and I'm going to clean the rest of this bark off, but I'm going to save that bark. And you'll see why. Okay, got the bark pruned, and the other piece that I cut goes here. And this is where I'm using that bark that I saved off the top, and I may go cut some more to really do a wrap. Because when this is used, we're not going to be the aggressor here in self-defense. We have got a large animal coming after us. The user of this spear, I wished I'd actually made it longer, is actually going to poke it in the ground, and you're just going to adjust the height. The animal will spear itself, but you need that stick. So once it does, you can, it'll push you around. A powerful animal. If you watch videos, Sasha Samel, I'll get into more of him in a minute here. He killed jaguars with these things. They're going to throw you around, they're going to knock you down, but you're going to hold that thing away from you long enough to bleed to death. Okay, using a makeshift tripod, and I hope everybody can hear me. How this type of spear works is you are going to be charged, or it's not really going to be a life and death, as an animal or person is charging you. More apt to be an animal. You put the end of that right in the ground, and you control your height. And you just basically let the animal run into it. It's timing. You don't thrust because you're probably not strong enough with that crude of a spear to do damage enough to stop something from killing you fast enough. But if you've got stick it in the ground, they impale themselves. And all you have to do is hold them away from you long enough to die. Pretty gross, pretty crude. But I've read a lot of Africa and actually South America. And I'm going to try to post some information on him. That guy, Sasha Samel, man, he had balls that were made out of cast iron, I'll tell you that. And he hunted jaguars with that and a stub nose 38 special, you know, that were cattle killing jaguars. Well, that's my video, that's my spear. I'm going to post a link to Survival Lily's channel. I thought it was interesting. And I mean, if you came up with a steel tip, that changed a lot of things. That certainly would be a vast improvement. But anyway, that's it.